Episode 0, welcome to Everyday Data Science Podcast. My name is Steven, and welcome to this podcast. This podcast is brought to you under my Learn by Doing channel. The purpose of this podcast is to introduce you some of the basic, practical, analytical instance for the data analytics. And whether you are a data scientist or you are just a beginner of data science, I wish you can find something useful for you. So basically, this podcast will share most of the idea and contents via my vocal. There is no video, so I wish that you can also exploit the content of this podcast on the go without looking at the screen. The mission of this podcast is very simple, just to practice different data science tricks, data science methodologies in real-world data sets. Most of the data sets are accessed on the internet, for example, like the website Kaggle, and everything will be described in detail. And in case you want to replicate the analytical process, you can always visit the same resources available on the internet. Of course, during this podcast, I'm not only exploring the data from ground zero, because for the sake of efficiency, I would very prone to use the ChatGPT and other AI tools to actually speed up the process or debug some of the codes that I wrote. I think you can expect that I will go through some of the real-world problem or some problems just for fun. Some real-world problem like how can I decide which apartment to buy if I understand the price of the housing market situation of a particular city. Like one of the podcasts I'm going to introduce to you, the Melbourne city housing market data. I think it's very interesting to explore. Or some of the interesting data sets like the wine data to let you know the different types of the wine. I'm not an expert of the wine, of course, but I know there are some characteristics that we would like to know about the wine to make some of the decisions. If I want to buy a particular wine, or in some particular year, some of the wines have a specific taste. But of course, when we actually touch that topic, I will do more analysis to avoid just give you some unverified information or something I just made up. So basically, I wish that you can have fun, listen to this podcast, and I'll try my best to bring you some of the information that you might need. Either you are beginner or intermediary learner of the data science topic. Of course, if you really want to advance to in this area, in the data science area, I would recommend you to follow the very structured course, to start from the beginning, from the theory of probability and so on, the statistical foundations. Then, and also now there are many courses for machine learning available on the internet, especially from the top universities of the world. Sometimes I would listen to 1 or 2 episodes to refresh my knowledge, to learn more, of course. But again, in this podcast, my purpose is that to provide you more practical approaches to understand the data set. And I wish that you can find the insights after the analytical process to be useful. Okay.